Imagine waking up with everything you ever wanted: wealth, fame, and power. But every night, the shadows whisper your secrets, and each morning, the price of your soul feels heavier. What would you trade for fame? Everything? What happens when the cost becomes too much? If you want to discover the chilling truth about secret societies, hidden deals, and the dark side of chasing glory, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell, and share your thoughts in the comments. Real stories, fiction, and legends. This is your invitation to explore what really happens when dreams become nightmares. Meet Jake. A young man with a burning passion for music. An artist whose every waking moment is consumed by melodies and lyrics that refuse to stay silent. But, like so many hopefuls, his journey is a lonely one. Long nights spent alone in a cramped apartment, guitar in hand, fingers raw, chasing a dream that seems always just out of reach. Jake is the embodiment of countless artists struggling endlessly to break through the noise of the music world. His days are filled with small gigs in dimly lit bars, open mic nights where the crowd barely listens, and hours scrolling through phone screens, desperate for any sign of recognition or opportunity. His dream? To be heard, loved, to turn his music into something more, a name echoing in concert halls, a story told on the lips of millions. But the reality is harsh. Doors close, chances slip away, self-doubt creeps in, even as his heart pounds with hope. One chilly autumn evening, Jake sits on his worn-out couch, eyes fixated on his phone screen. As he scrolls through messages, emails, notifications, social media, something different flickers into view. A message, vague yet oddly compelling, catching his attention like a spotlight breaking through the shadows of obscurity. It reads, "Join the elite. Unlock your destiny. All your dreams will come true." Curious, Jake taps the message, revealing a mysterious online form. The language is cryptic yet alluring. Invitation to the brotherhood. Step into the light. Fame, power, fortune await those who dare. Submit your name. Begin your journey. His heart races. A spark of possibility ignites within. Could this be the ticket he's waited for? The chance to finally step out of the shadows and claim the success he's dreamed of? But beneath the surface of that shining promise, something darker stirs. A hidden world veiled from everyday sight, where power exchanges are traded in silence and secrets bind those who step inside. We cut now to a figure shrouded in shadow, an ex-member of the Brotherhood, voice altered to protect their identity. Ex-member: "I never believed the rumors, thought it was all nonsense, but when the invitation came, it wasn't a prank. It was real. They don't make promises lightly. Every success, every rise comes with a price you don't see at first. They don't just want your talent or your commitment. They want everything: your freedom, your secrets, your soul." The words hang in the air, chilling yet mesmerizing. Next, we hear from a conspiracy theorist amidst a room heavy with books, strange symbols adorning the walls, and flickering candlelight. Conspiracy theorist: "The Illuminati is more than myth. It's whispered about in dark corners at lavish gatherings where the powerful meet in secrecy. Contracts signed with ink that symbolizes more than paper. Rituals that tie members to oaths and shadows. It's been the subject of centuries of fear and fascination. Behind closed doors, the world's elite have shaped history, wielding influence almost invisible to the everyday eye." The camera shifts to a montage, quick cuts creating an intense collage of symbols: the ever-watchful, all-seeing eye, the two-faced pyramid, cryptic signs hidden in art and media. Luxury cars speed through neon-lit streets, mansions sparkle under night skies, exclusive parties pulse with energy beyond the ordinary. Ghostly images of celebrities surface: musicians, actors, world icons, faces often rumored to be bound to the Brotherhood's mysterious grasp. The viewer begins to sense this is not mere fantasy, but a web woven throughout modern culture. Symbols etched into album covers, hand gestures slipping into music videos, all signs for the initiated or perhaps warnings to the outside world. Back with Jake, his fascination grows. The lure is intoxicating. What if this temptation is the key that unlocks his dreams? The risk feels great. But what if greatness requires sacrifice? Will he take the first step through the door that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary? The silence grows thick as he hovers over the submit button. What unfolds next will challenge everything Jake thought he knew and reveal the cost etched in shadows. This extended narrative explores Jake's emotional journey with vivid detail, atmosphere, and layered insights into the Illuminati mythos while building suspense to lead viewers deeper into the story. The air is thick with anticipation and a hint of danger as Jake steps out of the ordinary world and into the extraordinary. The invitation he accepted led him here, to a remote mansion shielded by towering gates and whispers. Inside, the atmosphere hums with power cloaked in secrecy. Crystal chandeliers cast dim glows on polished marble floors. Shadows flicker in the corners, and eyes, many unseen, watch his every move. Jake is led through a maze of opulence and mystery. Faces turned away or masked in elegance greet him with enigmatic smiles, some familiar, many disturbing in their intensity. At the center of it all, a figure emerges. Cloaked in authority, their voice silk and steel. They offer Jake more than he ever imagined, an irresistible promise of fame, fortune, and influence. But alongside the gleaming offer lies a clear line, a demand for loyalty and devotion. Fame and wealth are yours, but only if you commit fully to our cause, the figure intones. The path is not easy. It requires sacrifice, obedience. The bond is eternal. Jake's hand trembles. The pen feels heavier than expected. Signing this contract feels like crossing a threshold. Nothing will ever be the same again. And in that moment, the world seems to tilt. His music explodes onto the scene, charting hits, filling arenas, catapulting him to stardom. But with every cheer and flashing light, a shadow grows darker behind the scenes. Friends notice the change first, the warmth replaced by distance. Conversations that end abruptly, eyes that dart nervously. As months pass, Jake finds himself trapped in a golden cage, luxury on the outside, isolation within. Paranoia creeps in. Whispers follow him through corridors. Dark feelings infiltrate what should have been joy. Close friends voice concern. You're not the same anymore, they say. It's like you're lost, even though you're on top. Jake clenches his jaw, hiding a growing fear. Success demanded a price, and the bill was coming due in unexpected ways. Secrets pile up. Meetings behind closed doors multiply. Mysterious instructions arrive without explanation. The bright lights of fame cast long, unforgiving shadows. Desperate moments mount, a phone call from a distorted voice, a coded message hidden in a music video, unexplained gaps in memory. With every step deeper, Jake feels the weight of a contract he barely understood when he signed. And yet, leaving is not an option. The bond is too strong, the consequences too severe. Around him, rumors swirl of others caught in the same trap. Artists, performers, influencers whose names once sparkled but now flicker in darkness. An ex-member echoes in Jake's mind, a warning from the past. It's not just about what you gain, but what you lose. Your freedom, your peace, your very self. Behind closed doors and secret gatherings, rituals grow more intense. The lines between loyalty and control blur. The path forward is tangled in shadows. The allure of power and success remains, but so does the creeping doubt. Can Jake escape the price that was never fully revealed? This is the deal, the bargain struck in the twilight between dreams and despair. And the story is just beginning. The spotlight that once bathed Jake in adoration now feels like a harsh glare, exposing every crack in his resolve. What began as a shimmering path to fame has twisted into a labyrinth of shadows and dread. Night after night, Jake's sleep is invaded by relentless nightmares, visions more vivid than dreams, where faceless watchers observe him from darkened corners and hidden cameras record his every move. He wakes drenched in sweat, heart pounding, unable to shake the sense that he is never truly alone. Messages begin to flood his phone, cryptic, coded, and unsettling. Numbers and symbols flash across the screen with no explanation, chilling reminders that the contract he signed binds him tighter than he imagined. Friends and allies vanish without a trace. Some are shuffled away from his life, others suffer suspicious accidents that the world quickly forgets. His closest relationship fractures under the strain. Love, once a source of light, becomes a casualty to the creeping darkness enveloping his world. With every passing day, Jake drifts further into an existence where trust is a commodity as rare as freedom. At shadowy meetings, he witnesses rituals once whispered of as legend. Cloaked figures chant in languages old as time. Symbols carved into flesh and stone bind souls in unseen chains. The line between faith and fear blurs. What began as ambition spirals into a descent, each step heavy with sacrifice. Voiceover commentary threads through Jake's story, weaving in real-world myths and warnings of the Illuminati. Stories of celebrities rumored to have fallen victim to the same fate, their rise and fall shrouded in speculation. Online, web forums buzz with tales of secret cabals controlling the industry from behind curtains of power. Social media spreads rumors like wildfire, some true, some nothing more than elaborate deception. Warnings of scams that exploit dreams and desperation flood the digital airwaves, reminding us how easy it is to walk willingly into a trap disguised as fortune. Jake's ritual attendance increases. Ceremonies grow more intense, demanding darker offerings. He is coerced into actions that weigh heavily on his conscience, enmeshed deeper in a web of control and surveillance. Paranoia consumes him. Every camera lens feels like a blade, every smile a mask hiding dangerous intentions. As his morality falters under pressure, the man who chased fame becomes a ghost haunted by the cost of his dreams. His story is a cautionary tale of the fine line between ambition and obsession, and the price exacted by shadows that reach far beyond the stage lights. This narrative deeply explores emotional and psychological tension, blending fictional drama with known Illuminati conspiracy themes to immerse viewers in Jake's harrowing downward spiral. The soaring heights of fame now crumble beneath Jake's feet, replaced by a crushing weight of despair. His mind, once sharp and full of dreams, fractures under the relentless pressure, the heavy toll of a soul caught in unseen chains. Guilt gnaws at him, a shadow that refuses to fade. He feels stripped of himself, trapped in a facade that grows heavier with each passing day. The bright lights that once promised freedom now cast him into darkness. Fear and regret mingle beneath the surface, invisible but suffocating. Scenes flash behind his eyes, faces of those who sold their dreams to the same mysterious brotherhood. Actors, musicians, influencers, all once vibrant and full of promise, now faded ghosts, haunted by choices made in secret. Voice of a former member whispered, "They told me it was all worth it, power, wealth, but what they never showed was the price, the loneliness, the silence, the slow unraveling." Jake's journey echoes those warnings with growing clarity. His fate is no longer unique, but part of a pattern repeated within shadowed halls. Beyond his personal torment, a darker reality emerges, the world of online scams and false Illuminati recruitment schemes that prey on vulnerable dreamers. Social media explodes with promises of sudden wealth and power, bait for those desperate to escape obscurity. But beneath smooth words and glossy ads lurks exploitation, empty contracts, stolen money, broken hopes. Jake's story becomes intertwined with the stories of hundreds, thousands, caught in the same web spun from desire and deceit. As the boundaries of conspiracy blur into the haze of misinformation, it becomes clear that the dangers lie not only in secret societies, but in the very platforms designed to connect us. The price of chasing shadows is paid not just in lost souls, but in broken trust, shattered dreams, and communities torn apart. Jake's suffering is both deeply personal and a reflection of a wider warning, a call to see beyond illusions and guard against the cost hidden in promises too good to be true. This part delves into emotional despair and broadens the story to real-world social and psychological impacts related to conspiracy and scams, offering viewers a layered, reflective narrative. In the depths of his suffering, Jake finds a flicker of hope, a whisper from the past, a call from old friends who never stopped believing. Reaching out is dangerous, but it becomes his lifeline. A secret counselor steps forward, offering guidance beyond the shadows. Together, they plot a path toward escape, a desperate bid for freedom from the invisible chains forged by the Brotherhood. Every step is fraught with risk. Coded threats lurk in messages, symbols blur in the night. The powerful seek to keep their secrets buried beneath layers of deception. A tense cat-and-mouse game unfolds, Jake navigating between loyalty and rebellion, trust and betrayal. In one electrifying confrontation, the veil lifts briefly, exposing the hidden machinery behind fame and fortune. Jake's courage culminates in a public revelation, a bold act that risks everything to shine a light on the dark web woven by the secret society. The aftermath is bittersweet. Fame is lost, but the soul is reclaimed. Jake walks away from the blinding lights of stardom, not as a defeated man, but as a survivor who dared to break free. His story is a testament to the strength of the human spirit, a warning and a beacon. In a world awash with illusions, the pursuit of power and success can easily lead us into shadows. Jake's journey shows us the price hidden behind the glitz. The cost of selling your soul for fame can be far greater than anyone imagines. Yet, through courage, community, and truth, the darkness can be broken. As we navigate a landscape rife with scams, conspiracies, and hidden dangers, we must hold fast to clarity and compassion. If Jake's story has illuminated your path, subscribe, share, and join us in unmasking the shadows. Together, we find strength, not in secrets, but in truth.